push A12. Oh, yeah, I had a girlfriend and she left me, and a lot of funny things happened. Chicago crowds are the greatest crowds in the world. Boy, it's so real, isn't it? It's all so real.
Hicks was invited back on Letterman for the third time in a year and a half. He fought again for some of his older material, and it was approved, but only on the condition that he didn't mention the wheelchair. Hicks couldn't believe they wanted a joke without the punchline.
One time I'm late to class, I come in the middle of class has started, I'm sitting down, guy pulls my chair out from under me right when I said I hit the floor. Even the teacher cracks up. That's what you get for being tardy, Mr. Hicks. I was thinking of doing it to him, but with my luck, he'd hit the floor, break his back.
An audience reaction shot was cut in to cover up Bill's mention of the wheelchair. The joke no longer made sense. He was also asked not to do any material on a specific televangelist.
Found out one of these TV evangelists has been audited by the IRS. Very interesting fact, a $25,000 donation meant for a hunger fund went to buy him a brand new Corvette. He said it was to help him spread the word quicker, but...
They cut out the end of the televangelist joke, in effect censoring Bill Hicks once again. Robert Morton, the show's producer, told Bill that doing unapproved material like that was pretty much the same thing as giving him the finger on air. Bill claimed to have misunderstood the guidelines. But whether Hicks intended or not to disobey the censors, the transgression was unforgivable. He was banned from late night, further souring his relationship with the club owners. With a drinking problem and a take-no-prisoners attitude, his livelihood was in serious jeopardy.
In 1962, Lenny Bruce was arrested for using an obscene word while performing at the Troubadour in L.A. That obscene word, coming up after this break on Trio. Pop Culture TV.
All this week, Trio asks, what's offensive? What's funny? What's both? With Lenny Bruce uncensored, the one and only time his entire act was caught on film.
A brief word now about some...
Trio brings you uncensored comedy.
If I believed the Jews killed God, I'd worship the Jews.
Exploring what's offensive, what's funny, and what's both.
The humor is almost defined by the limits of what you can do or can't do on TV.
Exclusive stand-up performances, TV series, and Trio originals. Comedy that completely changed the rules.
Can't call a little kid a faggot.
Uncensored comedy. Every night this week, only on Trio. Pop Culture TV.
What was the word that got Lenny Bruce arrested in 1962? Schmuck. Trio. Pop Culture TV.
Listening to talk radio shows these days, and everyone, you know what Rush said about NAFTA? You know Rush is talking about NAFTA? I heard Rush the other day say about NAFTA. What are y'all looking for, a new dad? Throw the cuff. Take responsibility for your lives. What do you think about NAFTA, man? I'll tell you what I think. The sucking elite who own and run everything in this country are selling it out from under us tomorrow. There ain't no battle over NAFTA. That's a charade. Like our elections are a charade. And tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, they're selling your life out from under you. Don't you ever forget it either. There's dick jokes coming up. Please relax. Folks, here's the deal. I editorialize for 45 minutes. The last 15, I pull my chute. We all pull our chutes and float down to Dick Joke Island together.
Banned from the Letterman show, out of favor with big club owners, and almost broke due to spending all his money on booze and drugs, Bill Hicks needed to take any gig he could get.
I've been on what I call my UFO tour, which means like UFOs. I too have been appearing in obscure southern towns in front of handfuls of hillbillies lately. And doubting my own existence. Been traveling a lot. You like to travel? I bet you don't do it twice a week then, do you? I'm teasing. I'm sorry y'all had to see that.
To make ends meet, Hicks began touring nearly 300 days a year, playing mostly to tourists and drunks in the Deep South, who were often so offended by his material that getting on stage was dangerous.
Waitress is walking by, she hears us, she goes, "Don't worry, everything happens." Raises up her shirt, there's a .22 in her skirt. They're all armed. And we went up, tripping, and sweat pouring off our faces. People were hurling bottles at us. Real bottle, not even beer bottles. I'm talking the whole tequila bottle with that little metal thing, that pourer. They were using that to fling it. A lot of vibrancy. And I go on stage, and again, I'm supposed to be 45, and the whole show lasted about 22 minutes. And all I see in the back is the door open, and Ron and Bill silhouetted in the doorway to the parking lot with the check, waving it, going, "Come on, come on." And bottles are hitting the stage, and I ran through the audience, out into the parking lot. The audience chased us. They're throwing bottles, the owner throwing chairs at us. We go out, and we have locked the keys in our cars.
Could anybody help us? Anybody got a coat hanger?
So we just stand there going, those bottles are hitting around us, and finally we just broke our own window, and we took off.
Even when it didn't come to violence, many audiences just didn't like his point of view.
If you're going to kill somebody, can't you still have taste? I'll drive you to Kenny Rogers' house, you know.
After 3 years on the road performing in a drunken stupor to flying bottles, booing, and sometimes just blank stares, Bill had reached a boiling point.
Finally, something snapped in me, one of those road gigs. I'm playing these places. It's a real ego boost. I mean, I felt like the monolith in 2001, you know? People are building tools around me. And I just realized the hopelessness of life. And finally, I just started laughing and said, forget it. I'm going to dress in all black and scream at people. Tear the veil out of their poor eyes.
Hicks became the self-proclaimed dark poet. Wearing all black, he was a Marlboro red-smoking preacher of venom-laced truths, convinced it was his responsibility to expose lies, challenge mediocrity, and force people to think for themselves.
You! CIA killed Kennedy! You! Did you ever ooh me, you sheep? You're cattle! You! Grow a brain!
Bill struck a chord with a growing population of disenfranchised youth. His act fit into the underground zeitgeist of the late 80s, and he shared fans with the late punk, early grunge bands that were attacking the same corporate targets.
It's not that I disagree with Bush's economic policies or his foreign policies, all right? It's that I believe he's a child of Satan. Here to destroy the planet Earth. Yes, I'm over here. You know. That's where I am. I'm this away. You know. And what bugged me so much about the election was sad is how, you know, apathetic and docile we are now. Is that they make the whole election about money. Everyone seemed to find that as normal as could be. You know what I mean? It's all about money. Your wallet. Bill, you vote for Clinton? Taxes going up. I'm warning you right now. He may say he's not right. Taxes going up. Well, I have news for you, folks. There's other reasons not to vote for Bush than taxes. Okay? The reason I didn't vote for him, you ready? Is that Bush, along with Ronald Reagan, presided over an administration who for 12 years, their policy towards Central America included genocide. Now, see, the reason I didn't vote for him is because he's a mass murderer. See, there's other reasons to vote than your wallet. See, I weighed taxes, mass murder. I thought, you know what? I can pay an extra nickel on gas a gallon, just knowing little brown kids aren't being clubbed to death like baby seals, so Pepsi can put a plant in Nicaragua. Yeah, see? There's other reasons to vote than your own selfish, fat needs. Okay?
He was a hit at universities where students were trading bootleg Hicks tapes and quoting lines from his sets. They saw Hicks as a voice of reason among a sea of Reaganomics and superficial entertainment. He released a comedy album, and it was placed in alternative music racks and record stores. Hicks became an underground comic rock star, and his act took on the aura of a rock concert.
There's no difference between good music and good comedy. It's entertainment.
Critics took notice of the dark poet, and word of mouth continued to spread his growing legend. Inspired by his underground success, Hicks quit drinking. It wasn't alcohol that made a comic a genius. It was his ability to express a truth, even an unpopular one.
Anyway, I'm watching Terminator 2. Did y'all see Terminator 2? Yeah! Thinking to myself, halfway through this film, these are the most amazing stunts I've ever seen in my life. How are they ever going to be able to top these stunts in a movie again? There's no way. Unless they start using terminally ill people as stuntmen in pictures. Hear me out. Because I know to some of you this might sound cruel, maybe. Oh, Bill, terminally ill stunt people, that's cruel. You know what I think cruel is? Leaving your loved ones to die in some sterile hospital room surrounded by strangers. That. Put them in the movies. What? You want your grandmother dying like a little bird in some hospital room, her translucent skin so thin you can see her last heartbeat work its way down her blue veins? Or do you want her to meet Chuck Norris?
He saw every small club filled with conservative, flag-waving Americans as a challenge. On the evening of this infamous set in Chicago, word got out that Hicks was on fire, and other comics left their sets early to watch him face off with the audience, just to see who could last longer.
I'm beginning to believe in a palpable evil on this planet right now. In fact, I believe there is an Antichrist. In fact, I know who the Antichrist is. Dick Clark. Sounds ludicrous, doesn't Dick Clark the Antichrist? But think about it. Who's been on TV as long as you can recall? Dick Clark. Who has not aged one day? Dick Clark. Who brings us Tiffany, Wham, Casey and the Sunshine Band? Bobby Goldsboro. Dick Clark. That is not Dick Clark. That is a Dick Clark rubber mask with a zipper in the back. When he gets off that TV show year after year, week after week, systematically lowering the standards of this country, he undoes that zipper, and underneath is a cloven-hooved, horned Wolverine. There's a knock on the door. The door opens, and John Davidson walks in. John Davidson drops his pants in his bikini panties and leans over a desk. Does anyone not know where this one's headed?
Many people were repelled and got up and left, which only spurred him on.
I will stay till you are gone. Drive out of here one at a time, I don't care. I've got hours of dick jokes. I've got hours of dick jokes. I've got hours of dick jokes for you.
Hicks so desperately wanted to wake people up that he ended up alienating himself from them. His frustration would overtake him, and he would become almost possessed.
You suck. You get the out of here right now. Get out. You idiot. You're everything that America should be flushed down the toilet, you turd. You. Get out. Get out, you drunk bitch. Take her out. Take her out. Take her to somewhere that's good. Go see Madonna, you idiot piece of shit. I want you to go find a soul!
Hicks scared audiences so much that very few people saw his softer, gentler side, which was revealed far less often.
I have to state to you my vision, and you've been a great crowd, and I've enjoyed it. And my vision is, and you know all that money we spend on nuclear weapons and defense every year, right? Trillions of dollars, correct? Trillions. Instead, if we spend that feeding and clothing the poor of the world, which it would pay for, not one human excluded, not one.
we could, as one race, explore outer space together in peace forever. That's it. Thank you.